It is said, and I would say rightfully so, that God is the most reconcilable person that you'll ever know. Meaning he is anxious for us to be in a harmonious relationship with him. We see this in the image of the prodigal son, where the son is returning home and the father runs out to him. He's been anxiously waiting for his return. This image of God rushing or longing to be in a harmonious relationship with us is one that I think is important for us to carry with us as we read Scripture. There are times when reading Scripture that some of the language could even seem a bit harsh, but with the background or the backdrop of God as one who is most concerned about our reconciliation to him, our harmony in our relationship with him, that really helps. Let me read a section of Scripture to you, James chapter 4, verses 4 through 10. He's speaking to a group of Christians who have apparently become worldly, and we can see this in their priorities and in their relationships. And to this group of believers, James writes, "Adulterers, do you not know that friendship with the world means hostility towards God? So whoever decides to be the world's friends makes himself God's enemy. Or do you think the Scripture means nothing when it says, the Spirit that God causes to live within us has an envious yearning? But he gives greater grace. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. So submit to God. Be resistant to the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and make your hearts pure, you double-minded. Grieve, mourn, and weep. Turn your laughter into mourning and your joy into despair. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you." That seems to be what was happening in the heart of the prodigal son. His joy over vanity was turned to despair, and he ran back to the father and found a father who was waiting for him. I don't know about you, but one of the things that keeps me oftentimes from being fully present to God, fully exposed to him, or transparent before him, is a false understanding of who he is in his attitude or disposition towards me. Most certainly, there are consequences for our sinful behavior, but God, at the end of the day, wants us to be restored to him in a way that's harmonious, in a way that brings about fullness of life, in a way that he says here, humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you. Draw near to me, he says, and I will draw near to you. What a great promise that we have in the Lord, and I hope wherever this message finds you today, you'll be encouraged to allow God to search your heart and come to him with a full expectation that he is waiting for you with his arms wide open.